Alright, welcome back. Will O'Connor and Professor Steve here back on the couch. Now, All Blacks sponsored by Powerade and Gatorade, and all these cycling teams have, well, most professional teams have a sports drink related sponsor. And I get the question, oh, what sports drink should I be drinking during training? What should I be drinking after, before training?
Yep.
And generally, my advice is, well, have some water uh, or some real food, but I don't know, you might have a differing opinion to me.
Yeah, look, um, once upon a time there wasn't such thing as a sports drink, and people said reasonably well, still did reasonably well, so that's the sort of fallback position I often take. Having said that, sports drinks, they can be really useful
Yep.
for rehydration, for rapid rehydration, for encouraging fluid ingestion during exercise, particularly if it's prolonged, it's hot. Um, but the main and most important constituent of sports drink is water.
Yep.
And ultimately you can't go past water. It's free. Well, it should be free. Mostly it is. And it's really what you need to rehydrate. There's certain circumstances when you do need to have a bit more than water.
Okay.
When you sweat, of course, you lose sodium, potassium, and a few other things, and you have to replace those. If you weren't going to eat post-exercise, after exercise, and just drink water, and particularly if you've lost a lot of sweat, it's not ideal. And so where sports drinks come in is they allow you to replenish a lot of those electrolytes, sometimes some other things that you've lost during exercise, and do it quickly, and particularly if you can't eat. Having said that, what I say to people is, who ask me, do I need to have a Gatorade after I do my 2-hour training session, Steve? And I say, well, no, just have some water and a piece of Vegemite piece of toast with Vegemite on it.
Yeah.
And that's probably better.
Because I think something that people don't realize is it's just sugar, right? It's sugar and some salts. And if you put a Vegemite on a piece of bread, you're getting almost exactly the same caloric and sort of macronutrient makeup as a sports drink. But then that's pretty simple, but what if we're going into a 3-hour tour or an Ironman race?
And this is where things change around a bit, is sports drinks are about, they're convenience foods. It's about convenience. It's about the vehicle for delivering the nutrients you need as quickly as possible. And that's where they can be beneficial. If you're a track cyclist and you've got a heat and then a final, you want to rehydrate really quickly, yeah, sports drinks are usually pretty good.
Yeah, especially in that sort of confined environment, you don't have a lot of access to
That's right.
those sort of things.
I would caution though that sports drinks are often acidic. They can play merry hell with your teeth, and people that drink a lot of sports drinks during training and what have you, not only is it costing them a lot of money, they'll probably rot their teeth.
Yeah, right. So I think the important thing to understand is what you need. You know, what are you going to need? If you're going out for a spin to the cafe, you're not going to need anything except for a coffee.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing an Ironman, it's going to take you 10 to 15 hours. You're going to need some convenient food.
That's
sports
right.
drink then has a good position for that. Same with your long rides, long runs.
Yeah.
You're not going to pack a sandwich on a long run, so bottle of sports drink. All right, cheers, Steve.